Welcome on in, folks, to UC Riverside's campus. We're live here from the stadium. Stephen Buxton and Justin Lee here at UC Riverside for the Power taking on the Inland Valley Pirates in a two-game doubleheader today, starting here at about 3 p.m., just getting underway. Welcome inside. This is what the lineup looks like for your Power coming into this one. They're both away for these two games. Austin Haller at third base, Michael Gonzalez at second base, Miles Walton center field. Mark Kirkland at first base, Matt Chavez at the catcher position, Andrew Rivas designated hitter, Casey Kleinman coming up, and then Cato, his brother, in left field. Casey's at shortstop, and Grayson Gegg in right field. Today, for the Inland Valley Pirates, we talked about him the last time that the Power faced off against the Pirates a little bit earlier in the season, but Jude Favela, 6'3", 250 pounds, 15 pounds from USC, will be pitching on the mound for the Pirates today as he faces off against a Power roster who has started to get a little more hot during this last stretch. We're in the final week of Power baseball and coming to you live from Palm Springs Power YouTube channel. Underway here, Austin Haller steps right in. First pitch, low and below the zone for ball one to start off. My partner Stephen Buxton alongside to me. He'll take on the second game as the play-by-play commentator, but the weather is feeling pretty nice today here at UC Riverside, and always a nice way to come out and take these little away trips to new places.
Yeah, and last summer the Power went undefeated on the road. They had 3 road trips, most importantly the CPCL championship against the San Diego Waves, and so far this season, they're 2-0. They had a couple games a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, against the Inland Valley Bucks. Took both of those games, and right now, third road game of the year.
2-1 count currently to Austin Haller. He takes another pitch right on the top right corner of the strike zone for strike twos. It's a 2-2 count quickly for Austin Haller leading off today, where he has been since coming in halfway through the season. Favela steps around, comes away with it. Haller grounds it down to second on a one-hopper, and they throw to first for the first out.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Haller's been in that leadoff spot almost exclusively since the beginning of the season, since he's been here with the team. And a big part of that is because he's not exactly your prototypical leadoff hitter. He's not the fastest guy on the team, but he runs well enough. He puts the ball in play at a high level, and you can expect him to work both lines and the gaps really well.
Here's the first pitch here to Michael Gonzalez, who'll be playing second base today. Takes ball one. You talked about Austin Haller's ability to, yes, he's not your prototypical type of leadoff hitter, and there's a lot of different ways you can use that leadoff position as he takes another pitch upstairs, ball two for Michael Gonzalez. But Haller, we've seen this with the Angels using Zach Neto, more of a leadoff guy, but he has power, he has the ability to hit the ball in extra base hits, and Haller has done that plenty of times this season at the leadoff spot. Ball three here to Michael Gonzalez. One pitch away from being the first base runner today for the Power here at UC Riverside. 3-0 on the way. He takes it himself, and diving the shortstop, Walls is not able to get to it and rolls into the outfield as the first hit of the day off the bat of Michael Gonzalez, a single to start things off here.
Yeah, Gonzalez gets a fastball down in the zone. He keeps his bat pretty plain or pretty level on the swing plane, but drops the bat head down just enough to get a piece of it, sends it up the middle. Again, a big thing about this Power team is not trying to do too much with your at-bats, just taking what you can get, and right there, Gonzalez gets his hit and gets on first base.
And you certainly have the green light there with the 3-0 count, and it will get the first hit of the day. Here is Miles Walton watching the first pitch outside in the lefty batter's box for ball one.
And I say not trying to do too much, not as like a way to say that this team is in any way not aggressive and is conservative and is like scared to try something with their at-bats, but it's just being smart with it, not losing your mechanics, not losing the approach. Casey Dill will run this team as aggressively as any coach in the country.
Ball two here for Miles Walton. Pickoff attempt at first. Gonzalez slides in safely with one hand. You know, we've seen that a lot this year with the Power, being able to take those pitches, not being, not conservative like you said. And Casey Dill said, he wants his team to be aggressive, but be smart about being aggressive. As that pitches upstairs, another ball, 3-0 count for Miles Walton. Favela trying to figure out his control here.
And there's a difference because it's like being aggressive is not being afraid to send a guy home and maybe risk getting that out there, but it's the ability to know when to make that play, to know when to make that call, and not like for instance end an inning on the bases because you had a guy stealing when he didn't need to.
And there have been times this season where we just haven't seen the Power play up to that ability, but for most of it, they've been able to get hits early on and be able to knock runs in as Miles Walton swings at the second pitch, so he's got a 3-2 count full now. Payoff pitch on the way from Favela. It's fouled off by Miles Walton on the 3-2 pitch. We'll come back right around with it. Favela was a freshman this year, 215 pounds from San Dimas High School. He made 17 appearances this year with a 2.14 ERA, with opposing batting having a 227 batting average. Now when it cuts on the outside edge of the strike zone, catches Miles Walton looking for the first strikeout and the second out of the inning.
Yeah, perfectly set up there. Waldy Perez set up on the outer half of the plate, gets that pitch. It was probably 2 or 3 inches off the plate, but he's able to take advantage of his positioning and a good frame job right there to do one of the more important things with that catching position and stealing strikes there.
Perez steps in, and here's Mark Kirkland with the first swing and a miss. One of the few lefty batters you'll see today for the Power. Phillip comes around with it, and Kirkland sends it on the opposite side, just foul. So he's behind with an 0-2 count already. There's 2 outs here in the top of the first inning between the Power and the Inland Valley Pirates. Thanks for joining us, Justin Lee, alongside Stephen Buxton, for this 2-game doubleheader here, 3 p.m. and later one starting around 6 or 7 p.m. or so, depending on how long this game goes. Here's the next pitch. Kirkland right up to Favela. It bounces off of his glove, picks it up, and takes it easily. He floats it to first base, and Kirkland, running down that first base line, is able to get in there safely.
And you hate to see this. Right now, Favela walking off the mound already. Not sure who's going to go in to replace him, but it's a sight that you never want to see, especially in the first inning. Gets a hard comebacker for Mark Kirkland, and there was never even a consideration of him staying in this game.
And it seems like he's going to just stick around, or he's not going to stick around here. They took him off of the mound, and he immediately came off after making that throw. And the way that he threw that ball to his first baseman over there in Howarth, you could already tell that something was not right in that moment. Because he took one hard, and it seems like right up to his right shin or his lower half of his body.
Yeah, he pointed at his foot, and luckily he wasn't exactly limping off the mound. But, again, it's just always a horrible sight to see when a pitcher takes himself out of the game. And if that's happening when a pitcher is taking themselves out of the game, you know something's not right.
So it looks like before we could even see much of the USC product in Judah Favela, he's done for now. So we'll take a little bit of a break to see who they toss out here for the Pirates. We'll be back here. There's 2 runners at the bases in the top of the first inning. We welcome you back inside here at UC Riverside. My name is Justin Lee alongside Stephen Buxton for the Power and Inland Valley Pirates doubleheader here on this Monday afternoon. Matt Chavez steps right in. We got 2 outs here in the top of the first inning, 2 men at first and second. We had Jude Favela, who was just into the game to start off for the Pirates. And the first pitch strike to Matt Chavez as the first pitch was delivered by Noe Novella, who takes over for the injured Jude Favela, who just came out after Mark Kirkland took a pitch right up the middle. It took a piece off of Favela, and he walked off on his own power off the mound without even talking to the coach and discussing it. He was instantly off the field.
Yeah, I mean, at bare minimum, you're happy he was able to walk off. It was a hard hit ball. We don't have our TrackMan set up here, so we don't have the exact numbers, but I'd guess that ball was at least 95 miles an hour off the bat, and it got every piece of Jude Favela's leg. It wasn't like it just glanced off of him, but he walked off the field. There was never a question if he was even going to try and stay in, and you just hate to see that sight.
Yeah, well, most likely we'll need a bag of ice for sure, as the next pitch is floated but missing on the inside corner. It's a 2-2 count for Matt Chavez. He has been the majority catcher so far in this last stretch of the season. It's usually been a trade-off between Brian O'Neill and Blake Conrad, but ever since he entered midway through the season, he has been taking that catcher position as he sends one to the opposite field over the head of the right fielder, Koniarski. Drops right in towards that warning track in right field. 1 run will score in Michael Gonzalez, and right behind him is Mark Kirkland rounding around from first. It's a 2 RBI double, and the first runs of the game for Matt Chavez.
2 RBI double for Matt Chavez. Got a pitch inside on his hands. It looked like he almost got jammed a little bit, but he sent it the other way into right center field, and that thing just kept carrying. The right fielder for the Bucks, Koniarski, had a good beat on it, but it just stayed over the glove and landed and rolled almost all the way to the wall. And you see the aggressive managing by Casey Dill already. Mike Gonzalez was basically a guaranteed run, but he never doubted it and sent Mark Kirkland all the way.
Here's the first pitch to the next man up, Andrew Rivas. Ball 1. We know Mark Kirkland has that kind of speed. His ability to be able to steal bags as well. Because you think a guy like Mark Kirkland, with his stature of a body, you think maybe this is somebody that wouldn't run as much. But Kirkland has the speed to get around the bases quickly.
And part of it, too, is he's not the fastest guy on the team, but he's fast enough. And he runs the bases well. He takes almost perfect angles, and he knows when to go. He gets his timing right almost always. He's a really smart base runner.
2-1 count here for Andrew Rivas. He's the designated hitter today. Hit his first home run not too long ago.
And it's a place that's familiar for him. He's hit a lot of home runs out here.
Obviously one of the players here for UC Riverside as he pops one up in the air. Will be playable down the third base line and jumping right back in. Almost lost track of it, but Olazaba takes that one down for the final out. So they leave Matt Chavez stranded at second, but he's able to get the first runs of the game for the Power. They're up 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to Justin Lee and Stephen Buxton here for the Power YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Crayons, and they have kid-size stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best. Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We're off to the bottom of the first here at UC Riverside. The power against the Inland Valley Pirates. Jaden McNeely is up on the mound here for the power. A lot of Colton Nighthawks on his stat sheet this season. You've seen that Inland Valley Bucks as well, and the SoCal Mavericks was his last start, where he went for 4 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, but gave up a total of 3 runs, all of them earned. But he's been consistent at times, keeping right around that same edge between 3 runs and 4 runs given up. And he'll face off here against Esteban Olazaba to lead off. And he brings in the first pitch that misses just low for ball 1.
Yeah, and we saw McNeely's first action here on that road trip against the Inland Valley Bucks. He started the first game, and he was really good. He was almost 90% strikes, worked really quick.
As this ball's grounded, and a little juggle from Casey makes a play at first and got him in time on a one-hopper and a scoop by Mark Kirkland. Good play by Mark Kirkland to be able to pick that thing up.
And we've seen this here from Jaden McNeely again. Quick outs, quick at-bats, just 2 pitches there. And a great play by Casey Kleinman. That was a hard ground ball at him. It didn't have any crazy hop or anything, but it just snuck on him a little bit. He might have got it in between hops, but he's able to keep it in front of him and quickly grab it off the ground and fire it down to Mark Kirkland, who got it in time.
And Kirkland leaned out, too, to get that ball in time just before the foot came down from Olazaba. Next man up, Vaughn Coleman, who's playing in left field. McNeely delivers the first pitch, and it is just inside for ball 1. Right behind him would be Cole Koniarski in right field, Cole Howarth in the forward spot, Wes Hickey in the 5th spot, playing in center field, Isaiah Walls, Waldy Perez, Darren Osterloh, Diego Ortiz, and Luke Medure. They have 10 batters in their lineup today. Ball 2, though, to Vaughn Coleman. Pitch on the way, and that one just misses the outside edge for a strike. It's 3-0 now for Vaughn Coleman. Timeout on the field. Ball got away from the Pirates bullpen down the left field side. Just like Palm Springs Stadium, they have the bullpen outside rather than under the stands or in the outfield.
Yeah, the only difference is the balls that get away over here get away and roll towards the infield at Palm Springs Stadium. They roll into the outfield.
Strike 1 to Vaughn Coleman. He's got a 3-1 count here.
It's the same bullpen setup, just the mounds are facing the opposite way.
Oh, here comes another one. Ball got the outside corner for strike 2. There's a full count here for Vaughn Coleman. Whoever's throwing down there at the bullpen is missing his catcher right now. Not exactly sure what's going on down there. 3-2 on the way. Payoff sent to right field, but stays up enough for Grayson Gegg to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, McNeely went with a slider down and away the last pitch and then goes in on the hands with a fastball. Looked like he sped it up on Coleman, and he wasn't ready for it. Got jammed. It was in on the hands completely. Looked like that ball almost got on the handle, and just a lazy fly ball out to Grayson Gegg in right field, who Gegg's been on fire lately.
Certainly has. He was finally the player of the game at one point, as that first pitch is swung on and hit by Koniarski in left field. Cato will play it on the ground, and there's the first hit for the Pirates here in the bottom of the first. So there's a man on first now for the Pirates, and the tying run will come up to the plate here in Cole Howarth, who's playing first base today. Cole Howarth is the tallest man on the Pirates roster, standing at 6'6", 225 pounds. He is in the cleanup spot here. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the first. 2-0, the Power still stand tall after scoring the first 2 runs from Matt Chavez's RBI double to right field. There's a 0-1 count to Cole Howarth here. Pitch is a little outside for ball 1. 1-1 count for Cole Howarth. Kicks and fires. That one just misses low for a 2-1 count now. A little unorthodox with the bullpens. I don't know if I've ever seen a stadium that has the reverse mound to the plate like that. Usually it's the mound to the plate going towards the outfield. Pitch in there for strike two. 2-2 count for Cole Howarth. And I believe this stadium was recently renovated too, wasn't it?
Yeah, so they it's not anything crazy. They just redid all of the walls. It's essentially just a different shade of blue.
I see. It's a very different reconstruction as that ball is sent to Grayson Gegg, where he has just enough space to move to get the final out. So the Pirates managed to get the first hit of the day in the bottom of the first, but they're unable to get some runs in as the Power stand tall. 2-0 as we're off to the second. We'll be back here on the Power YouTube channel in just a few.
Somewhere down there is you. And just like us, you're an amazing Palm Springs vacation home. I bet we have a lot in common. Elevated, yet down to earth. A place to soak it up, sip it down, and make a splash. A place where staying in is even better than going out. Not just a place for visiting, a place for living in the moment. That moment when vacation dreams become reality. You're one of Palm Springs' best kept secrets. Let's show you off. Because you're so much more than just a home. You're a destination. You're an adventure. You're an idyllic escape. You're a happy place.
Need a garage door replaced or repaired? Then go to Overhead Door Company. We do it all. Repairs, service, new installs, retrofits, and more. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been committed to bringing you the best in residential garage doors, commercial doors, openers, and accessories. Whether you need a stylish new garage door for your home, a more energy-efficient commercial door for your business, or a better integrated door system for your industrial application, remember, if you don't see the red ribbon logo, you are not getting the genuine, the original Overhead Door products and service you need. Look for the red ribbon for products that are reliable and safe. Our service technicians are trained, knowledgeable, and background checked. Our continued success is due to our exceptional employees. Call 760-772-3667. Overhead Door Company. We sell the best and service the rest.
Welcome back in. It's the top of the second here at UC Riverside. Between the Pirates and your Power, Justin Lee alongside Stephen Buxton. We're already through one, and the Power up 2-0 after an RBI double from Matt Chavez, where he sent it to right center field over the head of the defender Koniarski, and he scored both Mark Kirkland and Michael Gonzalez. Leading off here, Casey Kleiman, then Cato, and then Grayson Gegg, the 7, 8, 9 of the batting order. Here's the second pitch already. One count here for Casey Kleiman. Made a nice play in the last half inning too defensively, making the throw over to Mark Kirkland, and he was able to lunge out and get the catch and take down Esteban Olazaba, the leadoff hitter. Quickly now, 2-1 count for Casey Kleiman. Now pitch catches the outside corner of the strike zone. Casey not a big fan of that call. Quickly makes it a 2-2 count.
And right now the power bats are going to have to, at least the right-handed ones, are going to have to recognize that, because that outside half of the strike zone to righties has been massive.
Pitch upstairs for a full count. The home plate umpire, the way that he's positioned when he steps right into his usual position to make a call, he's a little to that left side. That can throw off umpires, and personally being a Little League umpire, I know from firsthand how that can affect a call, as Casey grounds it to first base, and Howarth will take it himself for the first out.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because as long as you're consistent, as long as you're calling that same pitch a strike or a ball all game, batters, pitchers, catchers, the teams can deal with it. But it's really just the pitchers will start to just creep that ball outside more and more and more and see how far of a zone they can get.
That pitch curves right in for strike one here to Casey's brother Cato for strike one.
Because if it's that same thing to the left-handed batters, if they're getting pitches into the right-handed batter's box called for a strike, then right here you can see something like a changeup thrown almost in the dirt, almost into the other batter's box, and you're gonna have to swing at it.
0-2 count here for Cato Kleiman. Pitch inside. Cato turns his back. Makes it a 1-2 count.
And that's not a great pitch right there. Obviously, he pulled it into the left-handed batter's box at Cato Kleiman's feet right there. But with it going inside, again, it does open up the chance to try and stretch that zone out. Now, Cato's looking at stuff inside a little bit.
And he swings and comes around and comes up empty for strike three. He goes down swinging. Second strikeout for the Power today. 2 outs now in the top of the second. And here comes Grayson Gegg, as we talked about earlier in the first inning. He has been pretty hot as of late, defensively and offensively.
Yeah, it's been a bat that for the first couple of games or for the first couple of weeks, Gegg really was having a tough summer, but over the last 2 weeks or so, you can't get this guy out of the lineup.
No, you certainly cannot. 1-0 count here for Grayson Gegg, but Saturday he had 2 hits. In the last couple games, we talked about the player of the game that he was able to get. I think he went 3 for 4 that day. As the next pitch is outside for ball 2. Grayson Gegg with a 2-0 count here. Able to piece it up to left field. Coleman trails over and sits under it and makes a fine out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning very quickly here for the Power. They're still up 2-0 as we're off to the bottom of the second. Stick around here on the Power YouTube channel.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Bottom of the second, we are Jaden McNeely in his second inning of work starting here for the Power as he faces off the 5, 6, 7 of the lineup for the Pirates. Wes Hickey, Isaiah Walls, and then Waldy Perez. Here's the first pitch. It's grounded down to Casey, picks it up and throws to first. And just like that, the inning starts off with a ground out 6-3 between Casey and Mark Kirkland.
Pretty quick inning in the first, just faced 4 batters. Allowed that hit to Koniarski, but Jaden McNeely just threw 14 pitches and right back at it here. First pitch, a strike, and that's the thing. As long as he can get ahead of batters, it should be a good day for him. When he's struggled is when he's starting off 1-0, 2-0, and he doesn't have that 90, 91, 92 in his back pocket to really blow it by guys, so he needs to throw strikes.
This one's grounded right to Casey. He's able to glove it on the run over to Kirkland, and not in time at first base. Thought he was going to have an El Paseo Jewelers web gem right there in the infield, but just missed it by about an inch of a foot from Isaiah Walls as he makes it onto first base.
Yeah, and that one, it's just a tough play. Casey Kleiman was playing a little bit more towards second base, and he was playing deep, and that one hit almost in the middle of second and third base. He had to run in on it and quickly go down for it. He didn't barehand it, so the transition between the glove and the hand, being able to throw it down to first, he made it close, but again, it was just a hair too long and just a hair late trying to get him at first.
Well, they still have the ability to make a double play too now with the man at first. Waldy Perez, first pitch outside for strike one. And you talked about that outside corner being called. That pitch right there, similar idea, and McNeely delivers a second pitch. Very close to that same location, but it pops out of the glove, and it's a ball one. 1-1 count for Waldy Perez.
And whether you're a catcher, you're a pitcher, or you're Reed Santos, the pitching coach, it is your responsibility to figure that out, to figure out where you can steal strikes that aren't really strikes. Because for umpires, there's always that little gray area.
Good changeup from McNeely gets him swinging for a 1-2 count now. And every time McNeely has started this year, he's not gone more than 4 innings pitched. But the last time, when he played against the Colton Nighthawks back on July 1st, he went for 5 innings and was able to get the win in that game as he held off the Colton Nighthawks to just 2 runs in that effort. Those 2 runs that came by were unearned too, as he checks over the first base with Isaiah Walls sticking close by. And we talked about the ability of J.D. McNeely not going a far length in games, but he's able to just hold off teams enough for the rest of the pitching staff. And the power that the idea is to not have pitchers go for so long, unless your name is Angel Landazuri, but the ability to have all these other relief pitchers come in and have some play time.
And it is similar to any season you'll really see. It's not just, summer ball's not exactly the same as your collegiate season as that one goes outside. But it's a similar model. The first couple of games, the first couple of weeks, you're kind of easing into it. You haven't thrown in probably a week or 2 or 3, depending on if your team made regionals or how far they went, depending on the level and if they made the playoffs or not. But once you really get into it, you might see 4, 5, 6.
That popped up in the air from Waldy Perez. Meanwhile, Isaiah Walls was stealing as Miles Walton makes the catch in center field. So Walls has to go back to first, and now there's 2 outs in the inning.
And it's also at the collegiate level in summer ball, you're dealing with coaches, you're dealing with athletic directors, and you're dealing with a lot of these guys have their own personal pitching coaches too that have them on their own plan, or again with the collegiate coaches, they're working with the owners and front office of these teams and just establishing what their guys can and can't do.
And it makes a lot of sense as the first pitch is delivered. Ball 1 here to Darren Osterloh. 2-0 is a ball game, just to catch you up. We're here on the bottom of the second inning between the Pirates and the Power. And when you talk about summer ball in particular, like you said, there goes a runner in Walls. And the throw not in time as it was a little bit upstairs wide by Matt Chavez behind the plate. So there's a stolen base by Isaiah Walls here. He's in scoring position now with 2 outs. And it's a matter about coaches, understanding, because you are now under a microscope in summer ball. You don't want to overextend your ability to do it. And if you get injured in summer ball, that's a tough pill for a lot of coaches to swallow.
Yeah, because, let's be honest. Summer ball, it does matter, but it's not the priority. It's not the bigger picture for these guys. It's to be able to get reps, to be able to get better, and to be able to continue playing and to get in front of possibly some other coaches or scouts. But it's not to get hurt and it's not to possibly be detrimental towards your next season.
2-0 count here for Osterloh. He should watch a strike 1. He has a 2-1 count. There's 2 outs here. Power up 2-0 in the bottom of the second inning. And that same thing goes for things like the Power Summer Collegiate League. You're playing games every single day, you're hopeful that you're not trying to go more than 100 pitches, but there are cases where that does happen, and we've seen that plenty of times. As McNeely throws strike two for a 2-2 count here against Darren Oslo near the bottom of the lineup. He's in the 8th spot today. And for the PSCL, that's a different matter because there are a lot of uncommitted players in that league too that are looking for a new home. And the idea is to really do your best, but not overextend. As a big swing and a miss from Darren Oslo as he goes down, strikeout swinging. Another man left on base for the Pirates as they get the second man on board through this game early here at UC Riverside. 2-0 as we're off to the third.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyriq. Silent power, bold performance. Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
Hey, Coachella Valley, Patrick Summers here, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Spring is here and summer is right behind it. Don't get caught with a broken air conditioning system. Call us now. Let us get a tune-up done. We're offering a special for $79. It comes with a seasonal guarantee. Call our team today. Get yourself scheduled before the heat hits. Be proactive, not reactive. Go ahead and book at callthegeneral.com or call our offices and we'll get you taken care of.
Through 2 innings already. Power up 2-0 here at UC Riverside. Thanks for joining us. My name is Justin Lee alongside Stephen Buxton for this away doubleheader for the Power against the Inland Valley Pirates in this CPCL matchup. Here's Austin Haller who will lead off as he watches strike one on the inside corner. Grounded out his first at-bat of the day. See if he can try to get into a swing of things here. Michael Gonzalez right behind him, and then Miles Walton in the hole. Next pitch on the way, just outside for ball one. And how we got to this point, Power were able to knock in the first 2 runs of the game from Matt Chavez, who scored, Mark Kirkland, and Michael Gonzalez with a 2 RBI double. There was a different pitcher starting for the Pirates early in the ball game before Jude Favela took one right to his lower half as Austin Haller watches strike 2 for a 1-2 count. And Favela instantly came off of the field, and now Noe Novella, who's gone through an inning and 1/3 here in his 3rd inning of work technically, is trying to hold off the Power here as Austin Haller sends it to left center field and puts it in the perfect spot between the 2 outfielders. He's going to second and standing up there with the leadoff double. So like we talked about, waiting for him to get the party going, and he's able to get his first hit of the day, and it's a double too.
And again, that's why you have Austin Haller as your leadoff man, because I mentioned he doesn't have the blazing speed of someone like Tyrone Woods or someone like Miles Walton, but he's fast enough. He's not a slow runner, and he's able to manipulate his bat in the zone and able to just almost directionally hit. He goes to all fields right there. He hits it into the gap. It's not a terribly hard hit, but it's hard hit enough to get into the gap and get down, and it's slow enough that it gave him a chance to go get to second.
So Austin Haller gets the job done right here, and it looks like Noe Novella's day is done as he steps off the mound. So we'll see who the new pitcher is for the Pirates as we take this short little break. You're listening here on Power YouTube channel.
Jessup Auto Plaza has been proudly serving the Coachella Valley since 1938 as your trusted family-owned auto destination. Now, electrify your drive with the Valley's most extensive range of electric vehicles. Drive the Chevrolet Blazer, Equinox, Silverado, the powerful GMC Hummer, Sierra, and the distinctive Cadillac Lyriq. Silent power, bold performance. Electrify your drive. Jessup Auto Plaza. Since 1938, the EV brands you love, the family you trust.
Hey, Coachella Valley, Patrick Summers here, General Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Spring is here and summer is right behind it. Don't get caught with a broken air conditioning system. Call us now. Let us get a tune-up done. We're offering a special for $79. It comes with a seasonal guarantee. Call our team today. Get yourself scheduled before the heat hits. Be proactive, not reactive. Go ahead and book at callthegeneral.com or call our offices and we'll get you taken care of.
Back after the short break to see who the new pitcher is for the Inland Valley Pirates. It's Austin Kirkwood as he delivers a pitch on just behind Michael Gonzalez on the first delivery, and the ball gets all the way to the backstop. And Austin Haller moves 90 feet, so he's now at third after one pitch.
Yeah, and a little bit of a dangerous one right there. Looked like the backstop, Waldy Perez, wasn't exactly quick to go get that ball. It's a big foul area behind home plate here.
As he goes for the upstairs pitch and tries to lay it down in left center field, and it drops right in front of Hickey, and Austin Haller will score easily as Michael Gonzalez, who is now 2 for 2 and has an RBI, makes it a 3-0 ball game for the Power.
Michael Gonzalez pulls the hands in, able to shoot it up in there over the shortstop into left center field. Not terribly hard hit, but again, when the ball hits green grass and it's in the outfield, then you're happy with it. Sends Austin Haller home from third, and again, how big is that wild pitch there? He might have not scored from second.
Likely would not have if that ball got by the catcher Perez, but because of the way that he threw that, which was behind Michael Gonzalez, it allowed Austin Haller to get there very quickly. So here's Miles Walton as he watches the first pitch upstairs.
Well, we said that Austin Haller might not score from second. Here's a guy who he's basically in scoring position when he's at the plate.
Oh, every time he's at the plate. Right behind Jamal Ritter and stolen bases, but since his departure, Miles Walton has been the guy with the speed on the bases as he watches ball 2 upstairs. And he's seemingly hunting for that stolen base lead right now this season. He's already got multiple stolen bases this year as he watches another pitch upstairs. That's 3 pitches in a row seemingly upstairs for Austin Kirkwood. Last time we saw him against the Power, he had some struggles pitching-wise. 6'8", previously went to San Diego State University, labels his game after Tyler Glasnow. Pitch on the way inside, cuts right in front of the legs of Miles Walton, but it's 4 pitches and a walk. So now there's 2 men on the bases, no outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Your Power up 3-0. They just scored another run off of Michael Gonzalez's single to left center field.
And again, it's dangerous when you, allow Mike Gonzalez to reach, but follow that up with a 4-pitch walk to Miles Walton. He didn't even make him work for it. And you're going right into the thick of the Power lineup. Mark Kirkland, one of the best power hitters, or one of the best bats they've had in their history. Again, he can work all fields. We've seen him shoot the gaps all the time. He can work anything down the lines. And if you get extra bases for Mark Kirkland, you can almost guarantee Miles Walton scoring.
So here's Mark Kirkland, who comes up to bat. He scored, and he also singled earlier in the game right to the pitcher, Jude Favela, as he watches the strike one. And this was the speeder, or he hit the speeder that ultimately took Favela out of the game, but obviously not intentional. But he got a good piece of that ball, and it probably, if Favela wasn't standing there, would have gotten into center field on the grounders. He watches the next pitch upstairs, ball 1-1 count for Mark Kirkland. So man at first and second, no outs. Power already scored a run with thanks to Austin Haller's double, and then Michael Gonzalez helped bring him in with his single. As another pitch upstairs. 2-1 count here for Mark Kirkland. The last time we saw Kirkwood, he came into the game against the Power, which was back on June 28th in that second game that the Power played against the Pirates, as he delivers another pitch upstairs, 3-1. He struggled for a third of an inning, just getting a strikeout and walking 3 batters before being taken out. He faced 4 batters in total before he got removed from the game. So already a bit of some struggles here to start off his day. It's a 3-1 count here for Kirkland. And he gets a really good piece of this one to center field. It's drilling down into the warning track. Takes a one-hopper off the wall. This will bring in Gonzalez very easily. Walton stops in his tracks at third, and Kirkland's got himself a double. 4-0 now, the Power.
And I mentioned that I said Miles Walton can basically score from first on almost any ball other than that. Mark Kirkland absolutely hammers one all the way to the to center field, and it hits off about halfway up the wall. And that ball came back towards the center fielder, Hickey, so fast that Miles Walton was only halfway to third when the ball was already getting back into the infield.
And that's why Walton stopped there. He did have a chance to challenge that throw, as the first pitch is delivered upstairs here to Matt Chavez, who drove in the first 2 runs for the Power back in the top of the first inning with his own 2 RBI double.
One of the hardest hit balls of the season, and one of the handful of balls that you can really say might have been out at Palm Springs Stadium. Again, the same center field depth as they have at home in Palm Springs.
Next pitch outside, ball 2. 2-1 count here for Matt Chavez.
Only real difference is the wall's about 10 feet higher.
Oh, massively tall. If you're able to see this on your screen, you can see center field has a much higher center field. The majority of it is in right center here at the stadium. But an interesting choice to have a taller wall in center field, where most ballparks seemingly have usually taller walls either at right field or left field. 2-2 count here for Matt Chavez. The corners, though, are much closer than Palm Springs Stadium, as this one is right past the infield by Matt Chavez. He scores another run in Walton. Kirkland looking at the outfield. He turns around third and goes home. It's a 2 RBI single for Matt Chavez, his 4th RBI already, to make it a 6-0 ball game for the Power.
And again, we mentioned Mark Kirkland's base running. He's going hard all the way. He's not just seeing that it wasn't that hard hit and going into third, just standing. He's chugging around, taking the angle, and Casey Dill sees the play in left field. Out there, Coleman didn't exactly get a good handle of it, kind of bobbled it a little bit, and it gave Mark Kirkland the chance to score as well.
So quickly, the Power have already scored 4 runs, as that pitch comes right off of Andrew Rivas on the first get-go. So he'll go to first base after that hit by pitch, and there are no outs still here on the top of the third. The Power have scored 4 runs, already 2 extra base hits, 2 singles, a walk, and now a hit by pitch for 6 different batters before Austin Kirkwood came in against Michael Gonzalez.
And that's a really scary pitch right there. A fastball up at the head. Andrew Rivas ducks at it. It looked like it still may have clipped his helmet. Not sure how much of it got, but thankfully it looks like he's okay.
And already quickly in this ball game, the Power up 6-0. Here's Casey Kleiman with a man at first and second. He shows bunt as he tips it into the glove of Perez behind the plate. And so we talked about Kirkwood's struggles the last time he came out in a relief effort against the Power, and now starting to show some taller challenges here. Still no outs in the top of the third. High-speed fastball. Casey Kleinman gets a piece of it and fouls it off to the backstop. So going back to the corners, Palm Springs Stadium has the right field and left field corner distances at 350. Seems like UC Riverside has it at 330 here, so those corner outfields are a little bit closer than Palm Springs Stadium. Here's an 0-2 count. And did it get a piece of Casey? They're going to say no as it goes to the backstop. Everyone else moves 90 feet, so now there's two runners in scoring position for the Power yet again.
And just a really close one right there. It's one of the ones where you're wondering, just did that like clip the jersey? Did it clip, maybe like the elbow guard or something? But no, it didn't get him, and just a free 90 feet for the Power.
Another pitch upstairs, up and away, 2-2 count for Casey Kleinman. So Matt Chavez, who has been having himself a day, he's got a single and a double. He's standing at third right now. He's got 4 RBIs already through 3 innings for the Power offensively, as the pitch was upstairs for a 3-2 count here. So here's a payoff pitch on the way from Kirkwood. He comes around, and Casey fouls it off on a high fastball.
And this is where it gets dangerous for the Pirates, because right now on the mound, Kirkwood, he hasn't been able to find the zone at all, but when he has, it's been put in play, it's been hit hard.
And Casey goes down, swing and a miss. He comes up empty. That is the first out of the inning here in the top of the third.
And that's a huge out right there, because, again, outside of that at-bat by Casey Kleinman, when he's found the zone, 2 RBI double by Matt Chavez, 2 RBI double by Mark Kirkland. Miles Walton walked on 4 pitches. Mike Gonzalez got it into the outfield for a hit.
And ever since then, the Power, they have gone up 6 runs, unanswered so far from the Pirates. The pitch outside, ball 1, 1-1 count here for Cato Kleinman. He struck out swinging his first at-bat of the day. That was back in the bottom of the second. We're almost to the lineup here. Grayson Gegg is on deck, and then Haller will be right back up, who led off this inning as this ball in the dirt gets away from Perez, and another run for the Power will score.
Yeah, it looks like he's just pulling his fastball every time there. That's the one that's been missing. Not sure if it's something with the delivery, whether or not it's like a front landing foot position or something like that, or whether it's something in his shoulders, maybe the arms dragging a little bit and trying to speed up at the end.
As a off-speed is floated on the inside part of the strike zone for strike 2 of the count, 2-2 for Cato.
But whatever the issue has been, he's been missing arm side with his breaking balls. He's been missing glove side with his fastballs.
Pitch delivery fastball. Cato gets a piece of it, but fouls it off down the first base line. The Power already have 7 hits today here through 3 innings. They up to a certain point, they didn't have more than 7 innings against the Inland Valley Pirates the last series they played. The first series, they only had 4 hits. The second series, they only had 6 hits. So they're quickly trying to make a redemption case here in this game, where they lost to the Pirates 2 times in that first series.
They lost twice to the Pirates, but this is also a different situation for the Power.
As that ball gets away from Perez, he's able to track it down and keep it in front of him to block Andrew Rivas from scoring the 8th run of the game.
This is a spot that almost nobody on this team has been in as far as the Power returners or coaching staff, and if they have, it's been very rare. The Power have basically been playing playoff games for the last 2 weeks and will proceed to through the end of the season, wherever that ends.
That pitch just outside and upstairs for ball 4. Cato will get on board with a walk here. That was a full count payoff pitch.
They have 5 losses on the year, all of them in CPCL play, which it's a bit of a double-edged sword. They made their money in their out-of-conference schedule, but the conference schedule, they're not in first in the CPCL, in which they only lost 2 games in conference last season.
First pitch here to Grayson Gegg in there for strike one.
Like, I know they won it in with that walk-off home run in the 9th inning in the final game of the year, but that's a team that almost cruised to a CPCL championship. Right now, they have to grind it out.
Pitch on the way just downstairs and low, ball 1. 1-1 count here for Grayson Gegg. Flew out last time to right field. And you talked about what they have to do now in order to make it to the CPCL playoffs. They're chasing behind the Bucks and the Legends. The Legends this year, much better record than what we've seen in the last few years, and this is what the Power's chasing, as this is grounded high up in the air, and it gets over the second baseman Oshalo. Another run comes around in Rivas as Cato goes to third on that awkward hop up in the air by Grayson Gegg, but it's an RBI single nonetheless.
Yeah, RBI single. Didn't hit it all that hard, but again, it doesn't matter how hard you hit it when it lands in the outfield. And a single for him, it scores Andrew Rivas, and just a strange play, a really difficult play for Ostrolo to make because, again, the ball wasn't hit hard, but it's not hit hard enough for anyone in the outfield to get it. So you're basically chasing down a fly ball that you almost know that you're not going to catch.
Oshalo did get a piece of that, but it bounced away from his glove nonetheless as Austin Howler, his second time in this inning that he's up to bat, pops it up in the air, and it's caught by the catcher just before he reaches to the net for the second out. Not exactly what Austin Howler had in mind in that at-bat, but because of the wide margins here at UC Riverside, Perez had enough room to make that catch just before it got to the backstop net here at the stadium. So that's the second out of the inning. Power currently up 8-0 here against the Pirates. They have runners at the corners, and Michael Gonzalez comes up to bat, who is 2 for 2 today. First pitch upstairs, misses ball 1. So we're already one time through the lineup here in this half inning. Austin Howler just came up. He led off this inning before flying out to the catcher. Michael Gonzalez in his second at-bat of this inning here, too. There goes Gegg. Pitch is called a ball. The throw in time, and in time at second base to get Grayson Gegg caught stealing. So that will end the inning, but the Power go on a hurl of a rally here, getting a total of 6 runs here in the top of the third. They're up 8-0 against the Pirates as they're trying to make a big push towards that CPCL playoff. We'll be back here for the bottom of the third and see if the Pirates can get something going here in just a few.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection, and an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Monster Shakes, the best ice cream creations in the desert and only place in the world that serves all 10 flavors of Dole Soft Serve. The winner of the best soft serve and smoothies, home to the world's best date shake and other fun creations like ice cream nachos and the cotton candy burrito. For a limited time, come in and try your luck. Any soft serve that weighs exactly 16 ounces is free. Monster Shakes in Palm Springs and Cathedral City facing the Mary Pickford. Franchise opportunities available too. Monster Shakes, a delicious mess.
Welcome back live here at UC Riverside. We're in the bottom of the third inning here. It is 8-0. The Power over the Pirates right now as we go into the bottom of the third. First pitch in there for strike one here to Diego Ortiz in his first at-bat of the day. That pitch also misses down low. 1-1 count here for Diego Ortiz, the extra hitter. That one's grounded down between the two defenders off the glove of Casey Kleiman at the shortstop position, and he's unable to recover. That's a leadoff hit for Diego Ortiz.
Again, Casey Kleiman playing not exactly close to second base, but a little bit closer. He's more on that side of really the shortstop area, and just a ground ball that split him and Austin Haller. Casey Kleiman had a good shot at it. He got a piece of his glove on it, but really would have had to make an almost miraculous play to get him out at first.
It would have basically had to have been a major league play there from Casey Kleiman to make a long throw. He was deep into shallow left field from the infield dirt as the next pitch is fouled off by Luke Madur. He's got a 1-1 count now. So the Pirates have managed to get hits in at least every inning so far, but they haven't been able to get a second hit after that. But they lead off here with Diego Ortiz to get the first hit of the bottom of the third inning, but they're behind 8 runs here against the Power. Pitch outside for a 2-1 count. So how we got here, the Power in the last half inning, they knocked in multiple extra base hits, 2 to be exact, 2 doubles, 3 singles, a hit by pitch, and a walk, which ended up in the lineup not only turning over once, but the Power able to get 5 hits and score 6 runs in the last half inning. And pretty much an extended break for Jaden McNeely to get some rest time on the bench. 2-1 count, grounded down to Casey, and takes a weird hop as it goes over his head off of his glove and into the outfield. Another tough play by Casey. He's seen that a lot today.
Yeah, I mean, they've been wearing him out over there. That's already, I think, the 4th or 5th ball that's been hit over to him. And that one hit really hard. It's one of the handful of balls that you can misplay it like that, and it's almost guaranteed to be ruled a hit just because, again, we don't have the exact numbers on it, but that ball was hit probably over 100 miles an hour.
And it took a weird hop, too, just as it hit that dirt. And once it hits the dirt in the infield, it's unpredictable. First pitch swinging to Esteban Olazaba as he flies out to Miles Walton, and a fake tag up there by Diego Ortiz at second base as he goes back. There's the first out of the inning.
But again, the difference this game, you look at the pitch count, 14 in the first for McNeely, 15 in the second, and I know there's been 2 hits already, but they're on quick at-bats, just 3 pitches to Diego Ortiz, just 4 pitches to Luke Madur. Right there, Esteban Olazaba sees just 1 and flies out.
And this is where McNeely can jump out on his game, right? Be able to force bad at-bats, bad swings, pop flies, and grounders. And he's done that through 2 1/3 now here in this ball game. But again, the run support is also a big factor here when it comes to starting pitchers and, you know, where the pressure point kind of hits. First pitch ball, next pitch outside for strike. 1-1 count for Von Coleman.
And again, I mentioned that the big thing for Jaden McNeely is that first pitch strike percentage. How often can he start someone off down in the count? How often can they really have to get in desperation mode in their at-bat? And with his stuff, he can get some swing and misses.
As he gets him to go under that high fastball for a foul ball. 1-2 for Von Coleman with 1 out here in the bottom of the third.
When Jaden McNeely's at his best in his best outing so far this season, it's basically the other team woke up and they're down 0-1.
McNeely can relax and focus on getting these batters out here as he delivers another pitch outside. 2-2 for Von Coleman. We talked about kind of flipping the script here against the Pirates. It seemed like the Pirates had the upper hand the first series that the Power played against them. We talked about the first game 4-1, the Pirates won, and then the Pirates won the second game 5-4. As that one's fouled off here by Vaughn Coleman. Still remains a 2-2 count. The Power 8 runs through the first 3 innings offensively, and we talked about what type of pressure is on their backs right now. You know, we talked about the cruise control there for the Power last season. They can't be on cruise control now. They have to go basically all out. As that one is grounded to Casey. He dives, throws a second. They get the runner there in Luke Madure, and it leaves runners at the corners as the fielder's choice. But a good play from Casey Kleiman, who has seen 3 hits go his way in this half inning so far. So he is getting his steps in.
Again, we saw a lot of games where, especially recently, where 1 or 2 of the fielders are just getting worn out. And right now, I think he's already had 6 balls hit at him today.
And most of them were also leadoffs, too. Here's a first pitch, and opposite field from Cole Koniarski as he gets firewood on that swing to right field. It scores 1 run, with Diego Ortiz scoring, and going to third is Vaughn Coleman, with the ball going to the outfield at Grayson Gegg. So there's the first runs of the game for the Pirates as they score 1 here in the bottom of the third, thanks to Cole Koniarski.
Yeah, Koniarski out of UNLV right there gets a slider in on the hands, and it breaks the bat, but he goes the other way. The bat dies a hero in the first run of the day for Inland Valley. It's tough as a pitcher when you made a good pitch like that, when you broke someone's bat. You got to be happy with the execution, but you just don't get the result there. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
And it certainly didn't as it got between both Gonzalez and Mark Kirkland as they were with the shift towards that left side of the infield. So here's Cole Howarth. Big swing and a miss, 1-1 count here. And so quickly, Koniarski now 2 for 2 today for the Pirates as he scores the first runs of the game for them here. Runners at the corners, though, 1 out. Or excuse me, 2 outs. As the next pitch is outside for ball 2. 2-1 count for Cole Howarth. Pitch comes around, floated, and foul.
And we had a discussion about the length of Jaden McNeely's outings or just the usage of pitchers in general. And I know there's been a couple hits this inning. There's already that run on the board. But he was so efficient in the first couple innings, and with the big lead the Power have right now, not really any movement in the bullpen there.
Big swing and a miss. There goes Cole Howarth as he goes down, swing and a miss. There's the final out of the bottom of the third. So the Pirates get the first runs of the game here in the bottom half of the third inning. It's an 8-1 ball game as we go to the fourth. We'll be back here on the Power YouTube channel in just a few.
For 20 years, our family's mission has been simple. It all starts at Stuffed, where exceptional service meets bold flavors. Every crust, a masterpiece. Cocktails crafted to perfection in an atmosphere that brings family and friends together. Stuffed pizza, dine-in or takeout. Savor and enjoy at our 2 locations. Quality, service, family legacy, it all starts at Stuffed.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Monster Shakes, the best ice cream creations in the desert and only place in the world that serves all 10 flavors of Dole Soft Serve. The winner of the best soft serve and smoothies, home to the world's best date shake and other fun creations like ice cream nachos and the cotton candy burrito. For a limited time, come in and try your luck. Any soft serve that weighs exactly 16 ounces is free. Monster Shakes in Palm Springs and Cathedral City facing the Mary Pickford. Franchise opportunities available too. Monster Shakes, a delicious mess.
We're back here for the top of the fourth inning. The Power are up 8-1. Pirates scored the first runs of the game. Michael Gonzalez will lead off here. He was just up to bat earlier before Grayson got caught stealing to second base in the last half inning. But the Power scored 6 runs off of 5 hits to make it 8-1 here as he gets the next pitch floated just in front of the center fielder, Hickey. And he's got a leadoff single. He is 3 for 3 today, by the way. So Kirkwood here in another inning, just where he came in the previous half, gave up those runs to the Power. And here's Miles Walton, 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run. He watches ball 1 on the outside. And Michael Gonzalez is having himself a day with those 2 singles. Both of those at bats, he was able to score a run. So he's got 2 runs today and an RBI. Miles Walton watches pitch number 2 upstairs, misses 2-0 count. And Gonzalez, so far this season, we haven't really seen that type of productivity from Michael Gonzalez offensively. But here he is, 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. Miles Walton grounds it, shortstop over to second, over to first, and in time for a 6-4-3 double play.
It may have looked like a routine double play, but right there, that's about as hard as it gets. It's a slow ground ball to short. They get Gonzalez easily, but having to make that turn to get Miles Walton at first is really difficult to do. It requires a perfect exchange and then an even better throw down to first.
And it certainly does as Mark Kirkland steps in and watches strike 1 as he fouls it off.
We've talked about Miles Walton's speed all season, but again, it's just because it's important because it makes things like that. It makes routine ground balls and routine double plays not so routine anymore.
When you have that type of speed, even when early in the season when we saw Jamal Ritter and Miles Walton right next to each other in the batting order, every time those two came up on the bases, it was difficult for teams to get those 2 players out because of that speed and ability. And combining those 2 stats, you see Miles Walton and Jamal Ritter as Mark Kirkland swings and misses for strike 2. He's got a 1-2 count here. But both of them, Miles Walton, 19 stolen bases this year. Jamal Ritter is 23. So combine those 2, and you have 42 stolen bases between the both of them this season. That one is on the opposite side and off the glove of Olazaba as it rolls into the outfield. Kirkland will get on board for the 3rd time today on what looks like an error there.
Yeah, last time out, Mark Kirkland, one of the rare times you'll ever see over in his scorebook, but he did reach 3 of 4 times. He scored 2 runs. He stole a base. He had an RBI, so about as productive as you can be without getting a hit. But right here on all 3 times, he's 2 for 3. He's got an RBI.
Ball cuts right in front of Matt Chavez into the backstop on the first get-go. Kirkland moves 90 feet easily to second base. He's in scoring position again.
I mean, if the guy at the plate right now, Matt Chavez, wasn't in the lineup, Mark Kirkland would be one of the 2, arguably the most or second most productive player today. But Matt Chavez, 2 for 2, 2 RBI doubles.
And he's got 4 RBIs today as well, just to top that thing off. If it wasn't enough already for a guy like Matt Chavez, he's got a chance to score even more runs here. It's 8-1 here in the top of the 4th inning between the Power and the Pirates. Here's a 2-0 delivery, and it catches the outside corner for strike 1 of the count. And both Michael Gonzalez, Mark Kirkland, and Matt Chavez are producing like heavily for this Power team so far. One guy we typically don't see have that type of productivity. Another guy, Mark Kirkland, who we've seen it, has had that productivity through and throughout the season. You've seen it when he was taking a break from the Power. You saw the production dip for the Power, and that was actually when they played the Pirates the last time. Right now, 3-1 count for Matt Chavez. That one is pieced up and fouled off, so it's a 3-2 count full for Matt Chavez. And when he was absent, you could tell that there was a missing piece in that offense for the Power offensively. Without Mark Kirkland there, he was there present for the first game, but the second game was just another story to be had. And if Mark Kirkland was there, the Power probably would have won that second game. Swing and a miss from Chavez. He goes down swinging. And that's the final out of the top of the fourth inning. So the Power unable to score another run today. They're still up 8-1 as they leave Mark Kirkland behind at second base. We'll be back here for the bottom of the fourth in just a few.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99, including one mouth-watering entree, a refreshing beverage, a $10 power card, and a whole lot of fun, which means you enjoy a delicious meal for under $10. But look, that's 5 good things. Good things come in threes at Dave & Buster's with the Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Buy online or in-store today.
Hello, Power Baseball fans. At SBMP Attorneys, we believe in the power of community. And that's why we proudly support the Palm Springs Power, our hometown baseball team. After a memorable championship season in 2024, capping off the team's 20th anniversary, we're all very excited about the 2025 Power team. SBMP Attorneys and the Palm Springs Power are two teams that are committed to excellence, community, and the spirit of winning. We'll see you all at the ballpark.
Bottom of the fourth inning. The Pirates chasing 7 runs in an 8-1 ball game. Jaden McNeely is in his 4th inning of work. He's got a total of 49 pitches today so far, a low pitch count number for the 4th inning. He'll still face off against Wes Hickey, and he watches the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Wes Hickey and then Isaiah Walls and Waldy Perez. He'll face off here in the bottom of the 4th inning at UC Riverside. My name is Justin Lee alongside Steven Buxton for the Power YouTube channel. Pitch outside for strike 1 of the count, 1-1. So far the Power have got 9 hits total and 8 runs scored to the Pirates' 5 hits and 1 run scored so far as the next pitch is delivered for a 1-2 count here. And if you're following the Power so far this season, we're making the final push here in week 8 of the season. The final week of the regular season for the Power here as they make their final push towards the CPCL playoffs. 2-2 count. Right now, every single game matters here for the Power, and the offensive numbers have started to inflate as this pitch is hit up in the air. Grayson Gegg, good jump, makes the catch out between the 2 outfielders and close to no man's land as he makes the first catch and the first out.
Yeah, and it could be a combination of a handful of things, but, I mean, it's a team that they're playing a better brand of baseball in June. They have a chance to be possibly the first team that hasn't lost a game in June. That would obviously require them to run the table for the rest of the season, but in July, in July, but in June they had a couple losses where it's just, either the pitching clicked or the offense clicked. Neither one would happen at the same time.
That one is grounded down to Gonzalez. He takes it on a hop, throws the first for the second out.
But right now, it's the Power over the last about 10 days or so have been playing their best brand of baseball all season. The pitching's been fantastic, and even when it's wavered a little bit, they'll go out there and put up 10, 11, 12, 13 runs, and it doesn't even matter who was on the mound, basically.
And it's all thanks to this consistent lineup order. And like we talked about, as that pitch is hit right to Austin Holler with the line out. So quickly, 1-2-3 inning for Jaden McNeely. He didn't have to throw too many pitches. We're off to the 5th inning here at UC Riverside. We'll be back here on the Power YouTube channel in just a few for the top of the 5th.
Everyone knows good things come in threes, like Dave & Buster's Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99, including one mouth-watering entree, a refreshing beverage, a $10 power card, and a whole lot of fun, which means you enjoy a delicious meal for under $10. Oh, look, that's 5 good things. Good things come in threes at Dave & Buster's with the Eat, Drink, and Play combo for just $19.99. Buy online or in-store today.
Hello, Power Baseball fans. At SBMP Attorneys, we believe in the power of community. And that's why we proudly support the Palm Springs Power, our hometown baseball team. After a memorable championship season in 2024, capping off the team's 20th anniversary, we're all very excited about the 2025 Power team. SBMP Attorneys and the Palm Springs Power are 2 teams that are committed to excellence, community, and the spirit of winning. We'll see you all at the ballpark.
Coming to you live here for the top of the 5th inning. Justin Lee alongside Stephen Buxton here at UC Riverside for this away doubleheader for the Power. They're up 8-1 as Andrew Rivas will lead off here for the Power. The first pitch was just a little outside for ball 1. Rivas and then Casey Kleiman and Cato will start off this top of the 5th inning to see if they can get some more runs and give more space for Jaden McNeely to work with. He's gone through 4 innings. He hasn't thrown a whole lot of pitches, 56 in total. He just ended the last half inning with a 1-2-3. Next pitch upstairs, 2-1 count here for Andrew Rivas. Very familiar with this field himself. We talked about that here in the broadcast. 2-1 on the way. Just a bit upstairs, 3-1.
Yeah, and it's a place that a lot of guys who have been in and around the Power are familiar with, whether they've played at UCR or if they've played in Big West schools that have made stops over here.
Pitch catches the outside corner for strike 2. It's a 3-2 count now.
Rivas, obviously one of the handful of guys who will be playing in Palm Springs Stadium, who's had extensive experience here.
Pulls around on the inside pitch and pulls out the sword for a 3-2 strikeout. So Kirkwood starting to find his balance a little bit here. Since that 3rd inning, nothing has been happening with the 4th and the 5th. Kirkwood is starting to lock in a little bit here, where he gave up 5 hits and 6 runs in that 3rd inning alone.
Yeah, that 3rd inning, there's no way to say it other than it was just a disaster, but The fourth inning, he just faces 4, has that double play turned on Gonzalez and Walton. And since then, just Mark Kirkland reaching on an error. It's been solid, though.
Here's the first pitch ball for Casey Kleinman, who is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and a ground out to the first baseman. Second pitch delivered upstairs 2-0. And speaking of people who are familiar with UC Riverside, you're familiar with this field, aren't you, Stephen?
Yeah. Played here in high school for one game.
And meanwhile, there's a ball from the bullpen of the Power that got behind the backstop here, so we'll take a little bit of a short break.
And by played here in high school for one game, I mean, obviously, I did the most ridiculous long toss of my life, and then I sat on the bench and chewed on an entire pack of Big League Chew and some orange Gatorade.
But you did play here, technically.
Yes, provided absolutely no value to my team, but we were yelling from the dugout. We were going through some Big League Chew.
4 pitches for Casey Kleinman as he gets on board with a walk here in the top of the 5th inning.
I was there to keep vibes high and keep the pitch count.
Well, recently the Power added one of the PSEL players from the A's, nonetheless, Blake Browning, who you played with and actually played in that game for Xavier.
He did actually play in that game. Yes, he did.
But a familiar face for some of the Power players here as the first pitch is delivered strike 1 to Cato Kleinman. So Blake Browning has also had some experience here too.
Yeah, he was the starting right fielder in that game.
There goes Casey, and Cato comes around with a big swing and a miss as Casey's able to get there, sliding into second base with a stolen bag. Seems like Cato just tried to do a hit and run right there as he kind of went Ichiro on that swing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that swing kind of looked like it was just an attempt to just get a swing going so you can kind of get in the catcher's way.
Certainly helped out his brother right there as he's able to get that stolen bag at second base. 1-2 count for Cato.
You know, there's some times where you're just trying to put the bat out there. If you make contact, you make contact, but it's more just don't let the catcher get a free throw down to second.
That comes right back around and catches the inside corner for strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning. That's number 4 for Austin Kirkwood. There's a second out here. And that pitch there, very close to that inside corner, and the umpire gets the call from Austin Kirkwood's pitch. There's Grayson Gegg, 1 for 2 today with an RBI single back in the 3rd inning before he got caught stealing at second base.
And Justin, you mentioned earlier while we were going through your illustrious youth umpiring career that you noticed that the umpire was setting up like almost shaded towards the batter, and right now, the last inning or two, he's been set up right down the middle.
In there for strike 1 of the count, 1-1 count for Grayson Gegg.
And we haven't seen that call, that strike inside on left-handed batters get called. It's always been just that outer half of the zone to either side.
That one misses low. But it's that same side for the righty hitters where he's been able to make that call. So like you said, as long as you're consistent with your strike zone, then the hitters have to adjust to something like that. And it seems like Kirkwood has been able to adjust to that so far through 2 half innings. That one almost catches Geggs' right shoulder. But he turns around and now makes it a 3-1 count.
And it's the small stuff like that. These are Division I arms. Again, the handful of pitchers that have been in for the Pirates have all played mid to high level Division I baseball, so they have to be able to make that adjustment.
Fastball, Gegg goes on the inside pitch, and we saw that same pitch from delivered to Cato Kleinman where he looked on that inside pitch for strike 3. Gegg saw that pitch and swung at it to see if he can make a defensive foul ball, but he misses and comes up empty to make it a 3-2 count. There goes Casey again, and it's strike 3 regardless as Casey gets in at second base, but that should be the 3rd out anyways because of the strikeout from Grayson Gegg. So one runner at the bases, Casey climbing up the bags. Grayson Gegg strikes out, and Austin Kirkwood gets out of another inning scoreless. But still remains 8-1 for the Power as we're off to the bottom of the fifth.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Welcome back here inside UC Riverside Stadium. Lucas Zach will take over for Jaden McNeely here in the bottom of the fifth inning. He delivers the first pitch to the leadoff man, Darren Osterloh, for strike one. So McNeely's day is done. He's gone through 4 innings, hit the ladder of where he usually has been so far this season. And Lucas Zach will take over as this one is drilled to right field, trailing into foul territory. Kirkland could not track it down in time to make a catch in the bullpen of the Power. So it'll be just a foul ball for an 0-2 count to Darren Osterloh. Diego Ortiz right behind Osterloh, and then Luke Madure for this half inning in the bottom of the fifth. Justin Lee and Stephen Buxton alongside each other. We're inside of a tiny press box here at UC Riverside Stadium. It's 8-1 the score between the Power and the Pirates for a doubleheader today. 0-2 count, straight up the middle, and it will take a hop to Miles Walton for a leadoff single by Darren Osterloh.
Yes, Justin, I forgot that Chapman has the most palatial estate for a press box in Division III baseball.
It's funny that you say that because they do have a press box. It's actually smaller than the one that we're in, and the commentators were stationed outside of the booth. So, your assumption is totally not off. First pitch here to Diego Ortiz as he pops it up in the air. Haller comes in and makes the catch for the first down.
Kind of a funny nugget. It's almost the exact same way that the first game happened against the Bucks in the games that were played at UC Riverside earlier this season. Lucas Zach actually came out to start it, and then Jaden McNeely made his Power debut out of the bullpen. He went 2 innings scoreless.
As that pitch is in the ground, and moving 90 feet is Darren Osterloh with a stolen bag there. 1-0 count for Luke Madure, who is 1 for 1 with a single today. But that game on the road against the Bucks was a pretty high-scoring affair between both of those teams, weren't they?
Well, that was the second game. The
That's
first
right.
game was, I want to say, I don't have it pulled up in front of me. I think it was a 7-0 Power shutout one. It was a pretty quick one. But the second game, that was back and forth all the way.
3-0 count here for Luke Midure. And the star of the show in those two games was actually Brian O'Neill, who had 4 doubles within those 2 games. He's not starting here today, but if they pull him out for the second game, who knows what he'll do in there for strike one of the count 3-1.
Yeah, and again, that was part of really the very beginning of Brian O'Neill's season where he showed up to Palm Springs and outside of Miles Wallen, who he was really even competing with.
As that ball grounds down to the third baseline, but it's out of play for Austin Haller.
He was far and away the best player on the field every time the Power played. He came in and really through his first 2 weeks or so just was an RBI machine.
And he was the RBI leader for a vast majority of that first half of the season for the Power. And I don't want to say it's a drop-off for Brian O'Neill. It's just the matter of giving the playtime to a lot of the catchers. You know, you had Blake Conrad, Tyler Nelson, Casey Kleiman was a catcher at one point as that pitch is swung on a miss on the payoff, swing and a miss. First strikeout of the day for Lucas Zach with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And it's a matter of giving playtime to those guys, and then you add Matt Chavez into the mix, so now you have almost 5 different catchers you have to give playtime to. Obviously, Casey's now at shortstop playing that position instead of the catcher spot, so he gets playtime where he needs to be. 2-away here, man at second, and Darren Osterloh. We're back to the top of the order for Esteban Olazaba, who's 0 for 2 today, the ball 1.
Yeah, it's essentially an abundance of riches at that catching spot. I mean, there's 6 guys on the Power roster that they're either primary catchers, or you've got Casey Kleinman, who has filled in valiantly at times this season. Now we've seen Johnny Young bring his catcher's gear today.
I was about to say, you mentioned that Johnny Young was the bullpen catcher. 2-0 count here for Esteban Olazaba. Got a piece of his left hip as he tried to get out of the way of that pitch, but unable to, and he's on board.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see Johnny Young behind the plate anytime this season, but if he catches a bullpen today, he's got one of the nicest chest protectors I've seen. Nice dark green camo one. It's a good look.
Kind of fits what with the PSCL team he's been playing for much of the season, which is the Grizzly. He's been pitching pretty well so far this season, too, since he started entering the role as a relief pitcher for the Power.
Has not allowed a run yet.
2-time PSCL champion.
2-time PSCL Ironman. Being corrected, it's 1 time.
1-0 count here for Vaughn Coleman. You know, Reese on a fielder's choice, his last effort. He's got a 1-1 count now. There are 2 men at first and second. Esteban Olazaba on a hit by pitch and leading off with a single and then stealing a bag. Darren Osterloh at second. Pirates chasing 7 runs in an 8-1 ball game, and a swing and a miss from Vaughn Coleman. Hasn't been a back and forth affair so far to say, as that pitch is delivered upstairs, ball 2-2 count. The last time we saw this series, Power were chasing the Pirates almost for a majority of both games. The first game, the Power just didn't really look like themselves. The second game, they had to build their way back to it and had an opportunity to walk it off, but weren't able to in that second effort. But here today, a much different story. Swing and a miss on the outside off-speed pitch. There's strike 3. As the Power strand 3, Lucas Zach's first inning of work keeps it an 8-1 ball game as we're off to the top of the 6th inning. We'll be back here on the Power YouTube channel after this brief little break. Stick around. Justin Lee and Stephen Buxton on the call.
a family setting. You know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best. Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Top of the 6th inning we go here at UC Riverside. Justin Lee alongside Stephen Buxton. The Power up 8-1 still. Austin Kirkwood, who took over for both Jude Favela and Noe Novella, is in his 4th inning of work as he delivers the first pitch to Austin Haller in his 4th at-bat today as he leads off here in the top of the 6th. Michael Gonzalez and Miles Walton right behind him. Pitch delivered upstairs for a 2-0 count. Game 1 of 2 here at UC Riverside. The second one should get going around between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, depending on how fast this game finishes off. And right now we're pretty much on track for a 6 p.m. start potentially, as that next pitch causes Austin Haller to pull out the dance moves. He's got a 3-0 count.
And just like just about everyone in this lineup today, Haller's having a good day so far. Again, 1 for 3. He's scored a run. He roped a double in the 3rd inning.
As that pitch misses upstairs, 4 pitches and a walk to lead off here for Austin Haller. It's the second time today he's reached on base. Gonzalez will come up to bat here. 3 for 3 today. 3 singles, 1 RBI, and 2 runs scored. Having a, like we talked about, the type of productivity we really haven't seen from Michael Gonzalez so far this season. But today is a much different story as he's really starting to step up here. First pitch on the way. Gonzalez grounds it down to the shortstop. He has to run in. He throws the second over to first and in time for a double play. Another 6-4-3 for the Pirates defense.
Yeah, perfectly turned double play there, and Mike Gonzalez, who he hasn't exactly blown the cover off the baseball, but he's been having a good year all year long, and it's just because he's put the ball in play so much. Today he's done it all 4 times right there, grounds into a double play, but over the last couple of games, he's really been heating up. He's been a high on base guy. Again, he puts the ball in play just about as well as anyone on the team, and he's had an average in the high 300s all summer.
Between the last 5 games so far, he's had a total of 7 hits. The type of production you'd expect for the Power as they're in their final stretch of the season, as that pitch was fouled out by Miles Walton. He's got a 1-1 count here. Today he is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. But the Power are expecting Miles Walton to bring some big things going into this final stretch of the season, where he has done so far this year. Player of the game multiple times throughout the season. In fact, you had him as player of the game not that long ago, too.
Yeah, it was the game on Saturday, and Miles Walton, it was basically another Miles Walton day. He was just one of 2 starters who didn't get subbed out. He had 2 hits. He was on 3 times. He had 2 runs. He reached 4 of 5 plate appearances.
And that was the game the Power reached their 700 franchise win in their program history. In there for strike 2 of the count, 2-2, or 3-2, excuse me. Payoff pitch on the way with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Power up 8-1. Kirkwood comes around and delivers. Missed upstairs for ball 4.
Justin, my favorite part of that interview was the first time that I had my composure tested, and I completely failed that. Butchered the ending of it once you put the glove on my head. I was going so well, and then I said that the Power were playing on Sunday instead of Monday.
Here's the first pitch to Mark Kirkland. He checks his swing and does not. Yes, he does come around as they appeal to the base umpire for strike 1. My plan was to put the glove on your head before Miles Walton stopped talking. But when I came back, you were talking, and I put the glove on your head, and I was like, ooh, I might have just thrown him off. As that ball gets away from Perez for a 1-1 count to Mark Kirkland.
And he did, an absolute shame to the folks over at Arizona State and their journalism program. The mental toughness for me in that interview was just not there, clearly.
There goes Miles Walton again. Throw on the way is off target, and Miles Walton has got a stolen bag. That's his 20th of the season.
Perfect job by Miles Walton. He's recognizing that it's been a pretty slow delivery from Kirkwood from the mound to home. So he hadn't been looking over at Miles Walton really at all. So on the first move, just books it.
Kirkland swings on an off-speed breaking pitch, makes it a 2-2 count. And it probably does help that Kirkwood is 6'8" and has to bring up that leg a little higher than most pitchers with that tall frame of his. Having to load up a little bit more, so Walton taking advantage of it as the ball gets away. Nice scoop from Perez behind the plate.
But that's a thing that they teach pitchers. It's you basically have to work with your body, whether or not, if you're one of these guys who's 6'8", who's got really long levers, has a long windup, you have to change up the timing, you have to change up your looks, you have to just work and really manage that running game.
That ball is in the dirt, gets away from Perez. Walton stays at second, but it's another full pitch walk for Mark Kirkland, who has reached all 4 times today thus far.
You can almost think of a guy like a Justin Verlander, who his windup isn't very compact. He gets his arm all the way down. He has a high leg kick. He really gets far down the mound. It's not a quick windup at all. It doesn't hurt that he can throw 100 miles an hour, but he does such a good job changing his looks, changing his timing, changing his delivery, and overall just managing the running game with his catcher. He's had a couple good ones throughout his career, but at the collegiate level, it's one of the things that can set you apart.
And that's why Justin Verlander has had such a successful career throughout many years. There's a meeting here with the infield and the pitcher and catcher for the Pirates as the pitching coach heads back to the dugout. Looks like Kirkwood was about to get pulled off the mound, but convinces coach to stay back up there for this half inning. There's already 2 outs, so all it needs to do is get another out here in the top of the 6th. Pirates looking to hold off the Power. They're up 8-1 here. Next pitch fouled off. This is the first one to Matt Chavez.
Yeah, and it looked like there was going to be a pitching change. There were there's a pitcher and catcher walking in from the Pirates bullpen, and it looked like the pitcher was already about halfway towards walking to the infield before he realized that it wasn't his name getting called yet.
Both runners go as the ball gets away from the catcher Perez. Walton gets stopped by the third baseman, and the base umpire calls interference. So Walton will come in to score with a stolen base and interference from the third baseman in what was Olazon, but there's a new guy at third base defending now. But now it's a 9-0 ball game, or 9-1 ball game for the Power.
And I love the idea there by Casey Dill. He gets both runners moving early, and especially you get Mark Kirkland moving early, so he's in the peripheral vision of Kirkwood on the mound. And kind of a delayed steal. He didn't exactly go right away, but he was moving. And once he got in that vision, a bad pitch from Kirkwood gets all the way to the backstop. And when you get runners moving, when you get the ball in play, or when you get them moving on a pass ball like that, bad things can happen, and another mistake by the Pirates.
Another pitch upstairs, 3-1 count here for Matt Chavez with the man at second and Mark Kirkland. Power up 9-1 now here in the top of the sixth.
And it's part of the reason why Casey and this entire staff managed the game so aggressively, because if they can keep up to the speed themselves, they force mistakes.
Another pitch fouled off by Matt Chavez. He's got a 3-2 count to work with.
And no better place to really emphasize that forcing mistakes than in the 4th of July game, when in the 8th inning, Andrew Rivas forced, well, not really forced, but base running, going to third base, and then the pitcher just had a complete mental lapse there and had a balk.
Another full count walk. It's the fourth one of the inning. Chavez will walk over, and it looks like that will do it for Kirkwood as Coach Matthew Cordero comes up. So new pitcher for the Pirates on the way. The Power add another run to the board. They're up 9-1 here at UC Riverside.
Family setting, you know, we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best. Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $27.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Welcome back in. A new pitcher for the Pirates, as it's the top of the sixth, and Andrew Rivas comes up with a sword on the first delivery from Wyatt Pareto, who takes over. Pirates up to their fourth pitcher today here in the top of the sixth after another run scored for the Power. They're up 9-1 here in the top of the sixth inning. You're listening to Justin Lee and Stephen Buxton up here in the UC Riverside Stadium booth. 0-2 count for Andrew Rivas as he fouls off another pitch. There's a man at first and second, Mark Kirkland at second, and Matt Chavez at first. Rivas so far today just a hit by pitch, strikeout, and a flyout. to the third baseman as the next pitch is delivered upstairs for ball 1. It was 94 pitches for Austin Kirkwood, who gave up a mass total number of runs today. Rivas fouls off another pitch. We're in the midst of the MLB draft as well. If you haven't been following just the way that the MLB has gone, or the MLB draft has gone so far, the top 2 were pretty surprising, to say nonetheless. Here's a 1-2 count as Rivas sends it flying to right field, and running and making the catch is Koniarski to get the fun out. So they leave 2 stranded, but the Power add another run to the board. 9-1 is the score as we're off to the bottom of the 6th.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Hello, Power Baseball fans. At SBMP Attorneys, we believe in the power of community. And that's why we proudly support the Palm Springs Power, our hometown baseball team. After a memorable championship season in 2024, capping off the team's 20th anniversary, we're all very excited about the 2025 Power team. SBMP Attorneys and the Palm Springs Power are 2 teams that are committed to excellence, community, and the spirit of winning. We'll see you all at the ballpark.
Monster Shakes, the best ice cream creations in the desert and only place in the world that serves all 10 flavors of Dole Soft Serve. The winner of the best soft serve and smoothies, home to the world's best date shake and other fun creations like ice cream nachos and the cotton candy burrito. For a limited time, come in and try your luck. Any soft serve that weighs exactly 16 ounces is free. Monster Shakes in Palm Springs and Cathedral City facing the Mary Pickford. Franchise opportunities available too. Monster Shakes, a delicious mess.
We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here at UC Riverside. And Lucas Zach is in his 2nd inning of work. 9-1 is your score as Koniarski leads off for the Pirates as they chase 8 runs. In there for strike 1 from Lucas Zach, who takes over for Jaden McNeely from the 5th inning. Power scored another run on an interference call, with Miles Walton being able to come in after getting a walk on board. And that is just what has happened so far as next pitch is in there for strike 2, 0-2 count. It'll be Cole Howarth and Wes Hickey should be coming up soon. The Pirates had some defensive changes in the last half inning. There was Roman Cruz at third base and Viramontes at first for the Pirates. 1-2 count for Koniarski. Grounded down, Casey, who has seen a lot of action today, picks it up and makes the throw in time for the first down. Here's Jordan Viramontes, who is pinch hitting for Cole Howarth now. Seeing if he can try to get something going here for the Pirates. Zach delivers the first pitch and is popped up in the air. No space for Chavez to try to make a play on it as it rolls into the stands here at the stadium. 0-1 count. And before we ended the top of the 6th inning, we were about to start talking about the MLB draft a little bit, but pretty surprising with the Nationals getting Willits and then the Angels going with a product from UC Santa Barbara.
The classic Justin Lee start a story with 2 outs.
As that one is fouled off. There's only 1 out. We're okay here. But, yeah, I was cut off in that last half inning with 2 outs. Bremner being picked up there. And then the Seattle Mariners are able to get Anderson in that spot. But how about some familiar faces for the Power that some of the players getting drafted? You know a few guys, right, Steven?
Yeah, Aiden Tork got picked up by the Mariners. I think that was a 13th round pickup out of St. Mary's. Eli Brown in the 12th round to the Chicago White Sox out of Mercer.
1-2 count here for Jordan Viramontes. He gets a good whiff of this one into left field. It takes a 1-hop in front of Cato Kleiman. And there's a single base hit for Jordan Viramontes.
Both players really integral parts of Power's 2024 season, where they had a 51-game win streak dating back to 2023. They won their second CPCL title in as many years. Both of them were really just the heart of that lineup.
Cody White pinch hits for Wes Hickey here. So he comes up for his first at-bat of the day as well. He's got a man at first, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 9-1 is the score right now. The Power has scored 8 unanswered runs, or 9 unanswered runs, but the Pirates able to get at least a run back in the 3rd inning as Cody White swings and misses at the first pitch from Lucas Zach. Man at first in Jordan Viramontes. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss on the outside changeup. And that's a strike 3 call right there. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And some familiarity too. We had Jamal Ritter for half of a season and goes away to go play in the HBC or HBCU Classic, Swingman Classic, where he participated and actually got a triple in that game as well.
There we go. I knew you were going to get it, Justin.
Stumbling with my words there for a second, but thank goodness we were able to get it back. But obviously declared for the draft. We're still waiting to see if he ends up somewhere as well. That one's grounded to Austin Haller, picks it up safely, throws to first, long throw, and gets the out there. That will end the 6th inning. We've gone through 6. Power still up 9-1. Off to the 7th we go here at UC Riverside.
The Management Trust is a 100% employee-owned company. Every employee has a vested interest in providing memorable experiences to every homeowner and board members of HOAs. It's a very powerful thing. No homeowners association is too small or too large for us to manage. From community maintenance services to customized absentee home care, the Management Trust provides just about every service any homeowner could ask for.
Hi, I'm Damien with the Management Trust. We're community management built differently for your homeowners association. To find out how, give me a call.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
First pitch swing in as Casey Kleiman flies out to right field for the first out. So quickly here in his second inning of work, Wyatt Prieto gets things going here in the top of the 7th inning. Power up 9-1. You're listening to Justin Lee and Stephen Buxton up here at UCR. Power have been knocking in runs back and forth with that big inning in the 3rd inning, seemingly pulling this game out of reach for the Pirates so far. They're up to their 4th pitcher today, with Wyatt Prieto taking over for Austin Kirkwood, Noe Novella, and Jude Favela as Cato swings and misses.
And it hasn't necessarily been a bad effort, though, by the Pirates. If you take out that 3rd inning, it's really a 3-1 game, but again, the 6 runs there have really blown this thing open.
Next pitch just outside. Ball 3, 3-1 count here for Cato Kleiman, who 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts and a walk. And one catches back right inside the strike zone for a 3-2 count. And the Pirates have had opportunities to score runners today so far. 7 left on base with 7 hits and only 1 run scored. So a lot of missed opportunities as Cato rolls over and a leap from the first baseman to make the relay to his pitcher Prieto's step on first for the second out.
Yeah, that was a good play over there at first base. He almost started to charge in on it, but dropped his feet and had to jump up to even get a chance at it. Barely got it into his glove, and then the underhand toss at first base. Good job by the pitcher covering. And they're on time to get a good runner in Cato Kleiman.
Almost a close out between both the runner and the pitcher defensively as the first pitch is delivered for strike 1 here to Grayson Gegg. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Still a 9-1 ball game between the Power and the Pirates. Gegg gets a piece of this one. It's trailing to left field side and in play, and backtracking Cruz tried to make the catch in foul territory but unable to come up with it. It'll be an 0-2 count for Grayson Gegg. Looks like the Power has some action going down the bullpen right now on the first base side. Looks like that's Johnny Young warming up in the bullpen. Oh, 2 count here for Grayson Gegg with 2 outs. Inside for ball 1 of the count. That one gets away for a 2-2 count here to Grayson Gegg. So as of late, Johnny Young has been coming into these relief roles and only pitching an inning, but not a high pitch count when he does come in, forcing a lot of ground balls, flyouts from what we've seen from Johnny Young. So it seems like that PSCL time has been helping him a lot as of late. Here's a 2-2 count and outside for ball 3. Another payoff pitch coming up.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the strikeout stuff. He doesn't get a ton of swing and miss, and he knows that. He dropped down to a lower arm slot, but what he does is gets the ball put in play.
That one gets out of the reach of the diving glove of Osterloh, and Grayson Gegg comes up with his second hit of the day.
Gegg gets a fastball in on the hands, able to pull him in and get enough of the barrel there on a pitch that was really inside on him. Able to muscle it through that 4-3 hole right there. A massive hop getting through the second baseman, Osterloh, but again, able to get into the outfield. And you'll talk to Gegg, you'll talk to anyone. They don't care how it happens, just as long as it lands for the hit. And second one of the day for Grayson.
Austin Haller goes after the first pitch. Popped up in the air for the left fielder, Cody White. He makes the catch for the final out. So Power attack on another hit. Strand Grayson Gegg on the bases. That's 10 hits for the Power. Still leading 9-1 as we're off to the bottom of the stretch here.
The Management Trust is a 100% employee-owned company. Every employee has a vested interest in providing memorable experiences to every homeowner and board members of HOAs. It's a very powerful thing. No homeowners association is too small or too large for us to manage. From community maintenance services to customized absentee home care, the Management Trust provides just about every service any homeowner could ask for.
Hi, I'm Damien with the Management Trust. We're a community management built differently for your homeowners association. To find out how, give me a call.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Johnny Young's up on the mound here for the Power in the bottom of the 7th. He'll take over for Lucas Zach as the first pitch is swung on and missed. Next one just misses a little bit upstairs.
And on the season, he's played sporadically. It hasn't been exactly a ton of innings, but when he's been in there, he hasn't allowed any damage. Again,
misses upstairs.
Hasn't gotten the strikeouts, hasn't really, blown it by anyone. But again, he's kept hitters off balance. He's got soft contact, and he's worked really quick innings.
Romero fouls it off to the left field side just in front of the Pirates bullpen. This is number 44, Aston Romero, pinch hitting for Waldy Perez here. Pirates bringing in handful of subs so far in the later stretch of this game as Johnny Young loses grip of that ball as he checks his hand. He's got a full count to Ashton Romero.
And that's been the thing with Young this season. Last season, or really in years prior, it hasn't been to this extent, but this season the control's been almost pinpoint. You haven't seen him lose balls like that yet. It hasn't been a ball out of the hand.
He misses the outside corner. It's a full count walk for Aston Romero to start it off here in the bottom of the 7th. Power up 9-1 here in this ball game. Here's Darren Osterloh for his third at bat of the day. A single and a stolen base. When he led off in the 5th inning, and now he's got a man at first here in the bottom of the 7th. Johnny Young comes around, misses upstairs, ball 1.
Yeah, and Young will throw a fastball, slider, changeup, but it's more of one of those sweeper sliders, not exactly the vertical slider. It'll stay pretty flat for the most part.
Fouled off by Darren Osterloh, 1-1 count. And Johnny Young being thrown into a role where the Power looking for some of those mid-game relievers. Just an inning pitched appearance so far this year, as that slider swung on a miss by Darren Osterloh to make it a 1-2 count. One-two count on the way. Sent to the right field side and out of play. It was a long ball down that right field side, but laid it on that swing was Darren Osterloh.
Yeah, it looked like he almost took out his roommate, Isaac Quintero, down there.
That one catches the outside corner for strike 3. First out of the inning here for Johnny Young in the bottom of the 7th.
Good sequence there by Johnny Young. He goes with the slider away, a fastball up, and both of them on the outer half of the plate, but they're moving from the inner half of the zone to out, and then he goes with a changeup that starts out in the left-handed batter's box and darts all the way back into the zone to freeze him.
Rocco Reagan is going to pinch hit here for Diego Ortiz. First pitch he watches is strike 1 on the outside corner. So coast to coast for Johnny Young on the last 2 deliveries. Tries the same location again, but he misses just outside for ball 1. 1-1 count for Rocco Reagan.
2-time PSCL champion, 2-time CPCL champion as well.
That one just misses off the plate outside, 2-1. And Young has pitched 4 2/3 of an inning so far before coming here. Like you said, no earned runs so far this season. 17 batters faced in those 5 outings. That just misses outside again. Johnny Young trying to diagnose the strike zone right now. 3-1 count here for the new man, Rocco Reagan. As the Pirates chase 8 runs here. That one is flied out to left field. Cato will not get to it as it drops right in front in shallow left field for another hit.
Is that part of like your baseball thesaurus there? I don't think I'd ever heard diagnose thrown out. I like that.
You're welcome. Comes with the stem.
The stem major.
That's what my major entitles. So there's 2 men at first and second. That one on the outside, a slider handed out here to yet another pinch hitter for the Pirates, Sonny Rios. Fouled off. 0-2 count for Sonny Rios. So don't stick around and don't go too far away. We still have another game here in this doubleheader. Stephen Buxton will be on the call. I'll be his color commentator for that game. With the Power running away with it here, 9-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Another pitch fouled off by Sonny Rios.
Justin, I expect nothing but the best analysis, the most in-depth research.
Well, just like we STEM majors, we have to diagnose, understand, and present the information to our patients. So I'm going to present my information to you, sir. Pitch on the way. Jammed up and somehow gets between the 6-4 gap as a runner will come around from second base. Ashton Romero scores another run for the Pirates. It's now 9-2.
First earned run of the year against Johnny Young. That scores Waldy Perez from second base there. And a little surprised by the throw from Miles Wallen. It was well up the line, and it looked like they didn't really have a chance to get him at home. I was expecting a little bit more of an aggressive approach there. He was still rounding third as Miles Wallen picked up that baseball.
This is Roman Cruz, who came in defensively for Olazaba, so he'll be right here at the top of the order for the Pirates. Already a 2-0 count for Roman Cruz. There's a man at first and second. 1-1, excuse me. And one misses inside for a 2-1 count. So who would have thought we'd see Johnny Young give up the first runs of the season for 2025. It was all thanks to Sonny Rios, his pinch hit single. This one's popped into the air. It's playable towards the power dugout. Kirkland had a chance on it, and as he made impact with the fence in front of the dugout, it pops out of his glove foul.
Thankfully, the railing on those dugouts, again, you mentioned that they did some renovations to the stadium. The railing included the padding on there, well padded there, as Mark Kirkland came in crashing into that. The whole thing shook and looked like someone's Red Bull spilled over on that because it went all the way to the ground.
Someone's not going to have their caffeine flow for the second game as that pitch is fouled off by Roman Cruz. We saw a play similar to that from Mark Kirkland earlier in the season where he reached into the dugout for the power. But that is a much different type of fencing here at UC Riverside. The Power just have a metal railing and then a plastic cover, whereas here you have that padding like you talked about, Stephen. 2-2 count here for Roman Cruz. Fouled off again.
And it's a different approach that you can take, too, because it's not the chain link fence on Palm Springs Stadium's dugouts. It's just a mesh netting, so much more forgiving if you want to go crash into that thing like Mark Kirkland did.
That one is pieced up to Miles Walton in center field. Doesn't have to move too far as he makes the catch in center field for the second out. So here's next man up. Diego Orozco will pinch hit here for Von Coleman. So the Pirates essentially switching up the complete order here against these power pitchers as he watches ball one. Here in the bottom of the seventh, it's a 9-2 ball game, excuse me. Pirates just added another run here in this half inning with Johnny Young up on the mound, 2-0 count. Man at first and second. Both because of those singles, Rocco Reagan at second base and Sonny Rios at first. Popped up in the air and trailing foul just out of the park for a 2-1 count here to Diego Orozco. I'm not sure if we confirmed that this was the 7-inning game or not, or if this was going the full 9. That one is grounded down to Casey Kleiman, picks it up, throws to first, gets the out there to end the inning. They leave 2 stranded.
And I can confirm this is the 7-inning game.
Yeah, this is, yep. You saw the handshake from Chavez with the base umpire. That will end the game. So Power win the first game of this doubleheader, 9-2, the final score. Still got one more to go here, but pretty good outing, and it was all thanks to that third inning offensively for the Power as they scored 6 runs. And a good day here for McNeely, Lucas Zach, and Johnny Young in tandem.
Yeah, it was a good day again, and about as close to a complete ball game as you can get. Jaden McNeely came out 4 innings, just 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Didn't walk anyone. He struck out 2. Lucas Zach, 2 innings, scoreless, allowed just 1 hit. And then Johnny Young comes and finishes it off. He does allow 1 earned run, but no harm, no foul. It's a 9-2 win, and McNeely, because it is a 7-inning game, does get the win there. An all-around performance. Matt Chavez really had the most gaudy stat line that you could see on the lineup. 2 for 3. He walked, but 2 RBI doubles, 4 RBIs on the day. He scored a run as well. Mark Kirkland had a nice day. Miles Walton walked a couple times. Really, entire top half of the lineup did really well today, and Grayson Gegg to round it out went 2 for 4.
Yeah, and it was another productive day for the Power, and the pitching does their job essentially as well, just holding the Pirates to 2 runs where the last time these two teams met in that 2-game series, a lot more runs were scored in that game. Still one more to go here at UC Riverside. We'll take a break here and get prepared for the second game of this doubleheader in the nightcapper. Stephen Buxton will be on the call. I'll be alongside him here for the Palm Springs Power YouTube channel. My name is Justin Lee. Stephen Buxton. We'll see you in about 30 minutes or to an hour.